Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. And for this time, reviewing another action film that came out in 2013. And overall, I would say I do like the film, but at the same time, I have a lot of issues with the film. But overall, I like the film, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. But at the same time, I got issues with it. But as I continue the review, I'll talk about it. So a review today will be Olympus Has Fallen. It came out back in 2013 in March, and of course I know as of right now that they came out with a sequel called London Has Fallen, and almost of the original cast, the main cast from this film, they come back. Okay, that's a positive thing, though. But at the same time, I was not interested in a sequel because this film did not look like it needed a sequel. But and I saw the trailer to it, and it didn't interest me. But this first film, Olympus Has Fallen, that overall I do like. Like I said, I do have a lot of issues with it, which by the way, if you're hearing the noise. Thin Mint. So, yeah, don't mind me, I'm just having a Thin Mint. But Olympus Has Fallen, directed by Antoine Fuqua, if I mispronounced his last name. I think he's a decent director. Like this his first film, action film they did was The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-fat, and I really enjoyed The Replacement Killers. So that was like a good start for him. Then he would go on to direct Bait with Jamie Foxx, which overall I do like the film. But that film was out of the film that was a flop though, but I still like the film. He directed, of course, he's probably known for directing Training Day with Denzel Washington, and Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis. I like that film as well. Then he would go on to direct King Arthur, Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, Brooklyn's Finest, and then he's directed The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, which that one I don't care for, even though Denzel Washington, I thought he was good in the movie, but overall I did not care for The Equalizer. Then Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's directing upcoming Western remake of the Magnificent Seven. Another remake. So, but then he directed this film, and overall I do like the film though. But I'll get to the issues though. So it starts with a very good all-star cast. There's Gerard, Butler, Aaron Eckhart, Morgan Freeman, Angelica Bassett, Robert Forster, Cole Hauser, Ashley Judd, Dylan McDermott, Radha Mitchell, and it's R-rated. It does have a lot of bloody moments, so I do give it that. And when I first saw the trailer to the film, I was intrigued by. I was interested because it's Die Hard in the White House. That's basically what it is. And also 2013, this all came out another year of the twin films, where like two films of the same element or same situation / story is, like this film came out, and then later in the summer came out with another Die Hard in the White House film called White House Down with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. And I was surprised, and I saw the trailer because it was directed by Roland Emmerich. I saw the trailer, and basically I was pretty much crapping on the trailer, giving it a lot of crap to it though. But when I saw the movie, I was surprised by, because 2013 was a year that There was a few films to trailers that I crapped on a lot though, but I was surprised by. Like I was surprised by White House Down. I was surprised by Michael Bay's Pain and Gain, and I was surprised by World War Z. You know, yeah. 2013 was a year of surprises for me. But I saw the trailer for this film, and I was interested by because Die Hard in the White House, and right off the bat I know that Gerard Butler. I knew he would. He did such a great job in this movie. It was absolute badass in this movie. A lot of his lines I thought was funny. He said when we did the act when we was doing the action scenes, I thought it was pretty decent. He did it well on his own. Because and also and the film was a hit. I guess it was hit enough to get a sequel because it made overall like a 601 million. No, 161 million. Sorry. And it came out to it debuted number 2 though with a solid with 30 million because it came on the same weekend as DreamWorks' The Croods. But it did had a solid performance in second place. So it was pretty much made 98 million domestically, almost making 100 million domestically, you know, which is a surprise, you know. But I guess that's why they wanted to make a sequel, which London Has Fallen originally was supposed to come out in October last year, 2015, but got pushed to March. And the business, and it got mixed reviews though, but like it's 40% Rotten Tomatoes. It does have I think it was a 6.8 IMDb. I think it was. I forget. But overall, so getting into the story, Gerard Butler, he's a Secret Service agent for the president, played by Aaron Eckhart. And I thought that was first a funny line because it shows where they're at this military camp. And Gerard Butler and Aaron Eckhart, they're sparring with each other, and Aaron Eckhart is saying, you know, I thought you were not supposed to hit the president. Yeah, so I thought it was a first funny line. And his wife, played by Ashley Judd, and they were leaving the camp, and the president's car gets like has an accident, it's snowing and it's on a bridge and it slides like towards off the edge of the bridge, but they're trying to see that they just trying to save both of them, but they only save the president. And so actually Judd was still in the car, but falls in, she dies. Now getting into one of the issues is that some of the sequences sadly have poor CGI. Sadly though, I mean just how when the car falls off the bridge, that was just poor CGI. Just to look at it, because there's more scenes in this film that has such poor CGI, sadly. But which I'll get to those more though. But she was in the car. It falls off the bridge. She dies, and it's like sometime year later. I think it's like a year and a half later. So because the president they're dealing with the South Korean Prime Minister is coming in to talk over some stuff, and Gerard Butler is working someplace else. Talk for a little bit with his wife, played by Radha Mitchell. Radha Mitchell, she's been in films I've recognized. She was in Rogue, the Australian killer crocodile movie, which I enjoy. She was in that movie. She was in Pitch Black, and she was also in the remake of The Crazies, which is a remake that I never minded. So she plays as his wife. She plays as his wife. Jarbo was talking to her for a bit, and then for a scene he was talking with Angelica Bassett. And then while the president's talking with the South Korean Prime Minister, this big military plane is flying over. They shoot down some military planes, jets, and then here's where we get to RA. I like some of the bits where they just start getting on the plane's machine gun starts killing anybody in the streets. You know, going full force, full out, starts killing everybody in the streets. You know, whether it's pedestrians, innocent people, and they start attacking the White House. And they have to get the president and all the main staff down to the bunker. And they launch a missile, plane counters, gets it with those little called countermeasures. They start shooting at more people, bloody stuff. But then eventually they manage to bring the plane down. Here's another instance of very horrible CGI when as the plane hits the Washington Monument. As the plane goes down, crashes, as was playing at the end of the trailer. Very horrible CGI. But the president's bar gets taken by the bad guys, and then outside in the gate, there's more bad guys coming in. They breach the gate, and they start shooting. And then Gerard Butler, this is where he gets more of some of his badass moments. Guess what? As they're into the gate, Gerard Butler manages to shoot some of them as they're trying to proceed into the building, but he shoots a few. But he manages to get inside the White House. But kill all the bad guys. Pretty much they took over the White House. They kill all the agents except for Gerard Butler, and Cole Hauser. He was like one of the agents, so that was like a friend of Gerard Butler. Is also in the trailer as he's on the floor saying, "Olympus has fallen. Olympus has fallen." And he manages to kill one bad guy before another bad guy kills him. And then with Morgan Freeman, who is the Mrs. Speaker. Speaker. Mrs. Speaker, as they call him. Now, there's one thing that I would say when, Morgan Freeman, Angelica Bassett, and Robert Forster is there. They're all talking with the meetings and stuff and talking what to do, this and that. Morgan Freeman's now the acting president. Now, the thing is, one thing is that we get them most of the time. It's just talking with each other. A part of me says because I don't care about whether we're talking about what this and this, because overall the bad guys plan because they want to call the fleet that was around Korea, and I didn't care about that stuff, and I just wanted to get back to seeing Gerard Butler kicking ass. That's what I wanted to see. If Gerard Butler if Gerard Butler was not the star in this though, I probably would this would have been a rant. Because I don't hate the movie. I have a lot of issues, but overall I do like the movie though. If Gerard Butler was not in it, then this review would have been a rant. But because otherwise it would have been more of just issue after issue. So. And get to one, sorry, I shouldn't talk with a mouthful. Begin to another baddest moment with the Gerard Butler is his fight in the Oval Office. He throws one bad guy spiral from what it looked like. And kills him, smashes it with a statue on his head. And although I can see where the fight was going on, though, and then it's coming to another issue, is that it's a little too dark to, even though it's not nighttime, the inside of the White House is a little bit too dark. It's just kind of look for a little hard for me to see what's going on. It's like literally it comes to the point where I have to turn off all the lights in my room just for my eyes to adjust to the darkness within the movie to see what's going on. So yeah, that's one of the issues, because a lot of points when it's a little too dark for me to see what's going on. And I know it's the inside of the White House, even though sometimes when it's not outside or whatever, but that's one of the things. It's a little too dark to see though. But the whole thing with the bad guys comes to yet another issue. Is that the bad guy played by Yune, he's a horrible bad guy. I did not like his performance as this I don't know what the bad guy's name is. He was not a good bad guy. He was just basically his whole performance is bland bland, is another one part of his stupid plan is that he wants to get this called the Cerberus Code from the president and the Secretary of Defense and another guy. They get the code because of this, which of course I automatically could have figured out what it was, because they want, as soon as they get all three of the Cerberus codes, they can ignite the nuclears in the silos, then it'll blow up like most of America, and just because it was like a Cerberus, well, it's like they can stop any nuclear missile from reaching America, but they ignite our nuclear missiles in the silos and they'll blow up most of America. And which, of course, they explain that later toward the end of the movie, but I already had this part figured out in 5 minutes what they're going to do with the stuff. So I already figured how I knew what the bad guy's plan was before they fully explained the whole thing. So, but we go more with Gerard Butler. I get to another badass / funny dialogue with him. Is that he captures 2 bad guys, and they're both laughing because he wants to get information on what's going on, and they both start laughing at him, and then straight up bluntly, just Gerard Butler goes and jams one knife right to one guy's jaw, and he says, "I liked your friend. He was kind of funny." And they go stabs the knife to the leg of the other guy to get information. I mean, Gerard Butler, I thought that he did such a great job in this movie. Now, of course, another movie I saw back in 2013, it was one I was disappointed in, was Die Hard 5, or is it called A Good Day to Die Hard? The badass moments of Gerard Butler that had here in this movie should have went to Bruce Willis as John McClane in that movie. Because throughout the whole movie in A Good Day to Die Hard, he keeps saying, I'm on vacation. I was like, oh my god. I wish the badass lines that Gerard Butler said in this movie would have been put into Bruce Willis in that movie. I wish. Instead of just saying, I'm on vacation. But anyway. Yeah, but that moment with him with the 2 bad guys, I thought he was funny and yet badass at the same time. Then he gets information of who the bad guy is. And then Morgan Freeman starts explaining more stuff. Morgan Freeman, I say he's not terrible in the movie. I thought he was pretty good in the movie, but at the same time, so was Robert Forster and Angelica Bassett. But at the same time, with all of them talking in this room, the meeting room, I just didn't care for it. I just wanted to get back to see Gerard Butler kicking more ass. Like I said, they were not horrible. I thought they were pretty good. It was nice to see Robert Forster in this movie. It was nice to see him come back in the sequel. Yes, because I enjoy Robert Forster as an actor. Morgan Freeman, he was not horrible as well. He's also pretty good. So was Angelica Bassett. So he explains what a Cerberus code is, and he goes up to find Aaron Eckhart's son because they want to capture his son so he can get the final Cerberus code from him. Leverage. And then he manages to find his son within the walls, and they start shooting, and one thing leads to another. His son manages to get outside the White House into safe custody. And then Rick Yune, like I said, he's not a good bad guy. He's a horrible bad guy. It's just he doesn't beat. If you want to put all the Die Hard, the other Die Hard movies like Speed, Under Siege, or even the original first Die Hard movie. The films are based on Die Hard stuff, also Sudden Death. Any of those bad guys is better than Rick Yune. Powers Booth and Sudden Death, he was a great bad guy, which I did a review on. You can check that out. Powers Booth, he was such a great bad guy. He was like a no-nonsense guy, and he didn't care about, like I say, he shoots, one guy who's injured and said, get a doctor, and he goes and shoots the guy, puts the guy out of his misery without a care in the world. He was a much more intimidating bad guy than this guy. Or even the late Alan Rickman, may he rest in peace. Plays one of the most memorable bad guys in action film history. Rick Yune is nothing like Alan Rickman, as playing a bad guy, whatever. Or Dennis Hopper from Speed. May he rest in peace also. This Rick Yune as this bad guy, he was just horrible. Just horrible for me to watch this, see this guy. And that's of all the other issues in this movie, this is the biggest issue I have with the movie. Is this you have such a horrible bad guy. But then the one thing leads to another is that they send some choppers, try to take back the White House. Bad guys are right for this huge machine gun called Hydra. Butler is trying to stop it, and he shoots a bazooka and destroys it. But at the same time, one chopper gets clipped, and of course, though the action scene I thought was pretty decent, but then this scene just ruined the whole thing for me, which you see in the poster and pretty much on the back of this right here. If you can see right there, that scene right there, that just ruined the whole scene right there, because that is such horrible CGI, even horrible than the other CGI sequences that was in this movie. But before this, like the plane crashing down from the Washington Monument, or the car falling off the bridge. No, the helicopter crashing on top of the White House like this, that ruined the whole movie, because that was like some of the worst CGI. That was like the worst CGI I've seen. That was, I pretty much say, so fake. That was like a faker I see on sci-fi channels. Even, yeah, I know sci-fi channels have such horrible CGI, but me saying that makes me think that was this sci-fi channel CGI, in this big budget action movie. I see sci-fi channel CGI shit in this. I'm sorry, that just killed the whole action scene right there. I'm sorry. People think that scene is awesome. That was also playing in the trailer as well. I'm sorry, that scene right there killed that action scene right there. Horrible CG that I would see something on Sci-Fi Channel. I'm not even joking, because I know what Sci-Fi channels look like. Because there was like no budget, or not even trying to make a CGI look good in those shows, and that was horrible as well. I should not be seeing that in a big budget action film like this. Even some of the effects, like I mentioned in Good Day to Die Hard, they had not horrible CG as horrible as this. And that's coming for me, that's coming from me from when I said that was when I say that I was disappointed with A Good Day to Die Hard. But some of the effects CG wise was better than some of the CG in this movie. Hate to say it. Pains me to say it. So, and then he falls through the roof, and then when you get to another badass funny line that Gerard says when he's talking with the bad guy, and he says, he says to the bad guy, "Hey, how about you and I just go play a game of fuck off? You go first." I like that. So yeah, even though I got issues with the movie, like the horrible CGI, the useless horrible bad guy, even with the sometimes being too dark to see. But overall, I still like the film. If Gerard Butler was not in this movie, then this film would be a rant. But it's not. Okay. Gerard Butler, because that was the one big saving grace in this movie was Gerard Butler, because he was such a badass. Great, funny lines of dialogue. His fight scenes I thought was handled well. Even though some of the scenes that were too dark to see, though, but I can still see Gerard Butler fighting. He was a badass in this movie. That's a big thumbs up for me. That's the huge saving grace for me why I like this movie. Take Gerard Butler out of it, this would have been a rant. And then I would nothing to do but complain about all the issues. But yeah, I liked a lot of his lines. His lines of dialogue I thought were funny. Like I said, badass moments. So after that, and the Rick Yune sends one of the agents that betrays the president, Dylan McDermott, which is him right there. You can see from the blurry there. he's a secret agent that betrays the president. So he was sent to kill Gerard Butler, and um finds him. They get into a fight, but Gerard Butler gets the upper hand, and I guess Dylan McDermott kind of like redeems himself by telling that he killed Gerard Butler and he's dead. So he kind of makes up for what he's done. So he says that Rick Yune believes it. So he kind of like redeems himself, and telling Gerard Butler to kill him. So he stabs him in the head. So they decided to pull Morgan Freeman decided to pull the fleet away. Whatever. They drag the Secretary of Defense. As she's being dragged away, she's been almost beaten to death, and she's saying, "I pledge allegiance to the flag." Okay. I was like, But as she gets to the front door, Gerard kills more bad guys. What was it? Gerard Butler tells the bad guys, like, "What's the matter? It look like you've seen a ghost." You know. It's hard to trust anybody these days. So he says he's coming for him, and he says he's gonna put a knife in his skull, which at the end he does. But then the Rick says he wants a chopper, and all the hostages are going with him. As they get up in the helicopter, it explodes, which they presume that the president was on there. He's dead, but really it's not. It's a diversion. Gerard Butler knows he's still down the bunker, so he goes down there, kills the rest of the bad guys. Gets to a fight with Rick Yune. Aaron Eckhart gets shot, and some of the fights, even though the horrible bad guy, the fist fight, whatever, or knife fight is okay. It's decent, and then ultimately stabs him in the head. Gerard Butler stabs him in the head, and it was kind of for me. I'm looking at it; it's kind of like weird looking, because I don't know if they put it on an angle, because how the way it was shot, it's like just like goes like this. I was expecting more like like which kind of reminded me of another Die Hard type of film, like Under Siege, like how Steven Seagal goes and rips out Tommy Lee Jones' eye out, just goes and rips his eye out, then all he goes like, boom, stabs that right into the head and puts him into the computer, like, keep the face, Stranis. But he just like slams it into the guy's head. He just goes like places it there into the guy's head. So it's kind of like a weird angle type of thing, if you want to call it that. So then he goes and then he stops the Cerberus warheads from launching. Then but the president is still alive. And then that's pretty much the end of the movie. Everyone's safe and sound, and that's pretty much it. So overall, yes, I like the movie, even though I got a lot of issues with it. But overall, I do like the movie because the huge saving thing for me was Gerard Butler. I thought he did such a fantastic job. He was great. He was a badass. I like such the fun lines, the dialogue that he said. That made me smile and chuckle. Is that when his fight scenes that he's in, I thought was pretty decently filmed. Overall, Gerard Butler, he did such a great job. I give him a big thumbs up because he was a huge saving grace for this movie. And like I said, if he was not in the movie, then this would have been a rant because I've always been explaining issue after issue. And with the issues, like I said, it's a little bit too dark in the White House. It's a little bit too dark for me to see. A little bit too dark to understand what's going on. But I did, at the same time, I did understand what was going on. But it's not because it was too dark to see, though. Um, the CGI, a lot of it was piss poor. The car falling off the bridge, or the plane that fell down in front of the White House, or even the helicopter. This scene here, exploding on the top of the White House, that was faker than hell. That killed a decently action scene right there. I didn't care about the whole thing with meeting and the meeting in the board. Them sitting around telling with Morgan Freeman, Robert Forster, sitting around what to do. I didn't care about that. I just wanted to see Gerard Butler kicking ass, And but overall, the biggest issue was Rick Yune. He was a lame villain, Debbie Downer, basically. Or I would say dead weight, I would say, but mostly Debbie Downer. There are much more better die-hard villains from other movies. Like I said, Tommy Lee Jones, Dennis Hopper, Alan Rickman, Powers Booth. Even also another Die Hard on a plane executive decision with Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal when he dies by flight in a lame death way. David Suchet, who famously who plays Poirot, he wasn't a good villain, but I still bought David Suchet over Rick Yune any time. Executive Decision I thought was a boring action film, Die Hard on a plane. Even though I like Kurt Russell in it though, but it was a boring movie. But the villain played with David Suchet, I thought I bought him more of a better villain than Rick Yune. Because hey, Poirot is a much better. Yeah, basically Poirot is a much better villain than this Rick Yune villain. But this is so much more better villains, and this is the biggest issue I have is the villain sucked in this movie, sucked big time. And that's and when I saw the trailer to London Has Fallen, the villain, some foreign villain, looks even much worse than Rick Yune. And automatically I was thinking, okay, I don't care about this villain, whatever his motives are, or his reasonings, or his evil plan are. I don't care about this bad guy. So well, London Has Fallen. Man, this is making me freaking talk right. London Has Fallen. I'll wait for DVD. I'll wait. I don't want to waste my money to see in the theater because otherwise I'll be wasting my minutes. Because I'll walk out of the theater saying, "Oh, this movie sucked." I don't want to think that right now. I'll wait till DVD. So, but Olympus Has Fallen. Overall, I do like the film even despite the issues, because the big thing for me was Gerard Butler. The other actors, like I said, Morgan Freeman, Angelica Bassett, Robert Forster, Dylan McDermott, Radha Mitchell, Cole Hauser. I thought they were all fine as well. Actually, Judd even wished she was at the beginning of the movie, which I thought was kind of weird. But the supporting cast, except for Rick Yune, I thought they were fine. Still, Morgan Freeman, I never said he was not horrible in this movie. I just the whole playing with them in the room, telling them what to do, I didn't care for. So. But I do like the movie. Otherwise, I would be lying. Take Gerard Butler out of it, it would have been a rant. And also another issue I have is that Aaron Eckhart, I always enjoyed him as an actor. I always have. From Bad Los Angeles, which a lot of people hate, but I love Bad Los Angeles. Aaron Eckhart gave a great performance in that movie. He was underused in this movie, which I'm surprised. I know he's the president who's being held hostage. But he was underused. He was basically like given nothing to do, sadly, and that's another issue I have because I love Aaron Eckhart as an actor, and I was surprised to see he was given nothing to do except be a hostage. I know that's probably the point of the film though, but I wanted to see him do something. But But even despite these issues, I still like the movie. It wasn't. I didn't love it, But it was, I believe it wasn't like high up my list of top favorite films of 2013. That's why, because all these issues. But also directing wise, by Antoine Fuqua. I thought he's been a decent director because I enjoyed Tears of the Sun, Bait, The Replacement Killers. I have to watch King Arthur again. Equalizer, I don't care for, and I've yet seen Southpaw yet, and I'm not interested to check out the remake of the Magnificent Seven. So, but so overall, it's basically it's not random. It's like a mixed to positive review though, but mostly mixed because of the issues. But I still like the movie for Gerard Butler and his badass moments and liners. Because he did such a great, fantastic job in this movie. And I've always enjoyed him as an actor. But yeah, that's my review for Olympus Has Fallen. Does anyone seen it? Go check it out. And if you do check it out, if you want to check out London Has Fallen, it's out right now. I'll wait till DVD. So I'm not going to hold my breath for this movie. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.